Hello everyone, it's been a while. Welcome to this video in which we are going to talk about some of the common vulnerabilities that are associated with WebViews. And in this case, we are going to use an application developed by NowSecure on its public GitHub repo. You can access it through the GitHub, and I want you to head over to it and download this APK. And as usual, you'll have to install it on a device. So after you've done everything and install the application, as usual, we have to start with JIDX. We have to do some static analysis of the application and see what it has for us. Okay, we are going to start JIDX GUI, and then we upload the application into this software. You know, we start analyzing from manifest file. Package name is vulnerablewebview.com. It has internet permissions, and going down you can see it has the main activity, that is vulnerablewebview.webview activity, which is not exported. Let's start with this one. You can just do this by double clicking on it, and looking at it, you can see in this it has only one class with few methods, and the most interesting method is this one, because these ones are just in-house stuff. So we know JavaScript is enabled, and WebViews, as I've told you before, this is a feature in mobile applications or in Android applications that makes them behave like a browser. So you can basically open web pages inside the mobile application. So for it to work, it has to have an internet permission, and then JavaScript enabling makes us curious, because we start thinking along the line of arbitrary code execution and XSS and so forth. So looking at it, as you can see, there is no sanitization to prevent us from loading our arbitrary URLs. So in this case, what we can do, we can instrument our FRIDA into this method and see whether we can load URL directly into this web view. Okay, so let's right click on this method, then make sure you to copy it as a FRIDA snippet. You can create a gedit file. Let's call it WebView exploit.js. Okay, so make sure you copy and then you do what I'm doing, and then you paste everything inside here. Okay, so let's paste the FRIDA snippet we had copied. So perfect, it looks okay. Let WebView activity be Java, and then we are going to use this WebView activity, and then WebView as the method, and then the function. We are going to load the URL into it. Okay, then this console is going to tell us what we are doing on the logs. So in this case, let's delete all of this, delete up to here, and then this one we can let's use the square bracket on this, and quotation marks, double quotation marks, and then let's remove this one as well. And then we need now to specify the URL. Okay, our URL, so we can specify it here as equals to we can use Google, www.google.com. .com. Okay, so I think that is it. Maybe you can do some cleaning here. We align it to be on the same line. Save it. Okay, save it. And so if you had installed your application, then you should be having it appear here like this. Okay, so one thing we need to do, we need to first start a FRIDA server inside our mobile device, that is our mobile phone. So if you don't know how to do that again, you can check my previous videos, it's going to guide you. So let's run FRIDA server, issuing this command adb shell, then the location where the server is in the mobile phone, and then with the ampersand. So run it, and then now we need to instrument this with our FRIDA. Of course, if you don't know how to install FRIDA in your machine, you can check on our previous videos. So with this command, we just need to run this WebView exploit.js, no pause. So FRIDA -u -f, then this is our load. So let's run this and then see what happens here. Okay, there it is. So this is the web view. This is how this application looks. So if our scripts, we wrote it well, it should open Google inside this application. As you can see, it's been opened. It's been opened inside this application. You can see it's inside vulnerable web view. It's not a web browser. So this is a typical URL or open redirect vulnerability that is associated with web views. The URLs that are being loaded, they're not sanitized. There are no any security measures put around it. The next thing we are going to do is how can we exploit an XSS on this application? Okay, we have JavaScript enabled on this application, if you remember. Okay, there is a JavaScript interface, and then JavaScript is enabled. Okay, so what if we execute an XSS inside a URL? Okay, when we load a URL, we execute an XSS. Okay, one way we are going to do it is host an exploit in our server, and then send that page with an XSS to the application. Okay, so let's see how to do that. So let's start our Apache server first. So you can see it's running this folder var www.html. Okay, ls. So there are some that I had already done initially, especially this. So let's gedit simple. So we want to run this simple script. Okay, so we want to redirect a URL into this script, and we want to run it inside that application. Simple, so you can write yours as it is, like this: script alert XSS. So let me put XSS executed. Okay, save it and then leave. Okay, let's start ngrok. ngrok serve view files on the internet. Okay, so let's do that. So you can start ngrok with http 80 on port 80, so that we can get our URL. Okay, which is, we have our URL here. Copy the URL. So if you open this in our browser, make sure it gives you this page. Okay, if it gives you this page, then it means you're okay. Now if we navigate to simp, let me see, its name is simp XSS. Just copy it. Copy it here, paste simp XSS. We have this. We have the typical XSS. So this is what we want to execute inside that application. Let's now head over to our previous FRIDA script. Now we are going to change this now to back to our public site. Okay, I'm now going to put this back to our public site. Let's go back here. Let's copy this, our URL, come back here, paste it here, and then also let's copy our payload, copy, paste it there and save. So if everything is going to work, then we are going to have this XSS executed inside our phone. Okay, so let's start FRIDA again. We exploit again here our script by FRIDA, and then enter. So here we are. Okay, so let's click on it. As you can see, our exploit is executed on this application, and it is on this application. As you can see, it's still on this vulnerable web view. Okay, now that we have XSS executed, we want to exploit this application further to see whether we can be able to execute our own code. Now the next vulnerability that is associated with the WebView is arbitrary code execution. So let's see how we can exploit that. Okay, come back to this activity again. There is this JavaScript interface that is being added, and let's check on it and see what it does. So one thing you need to note, this activity is not exported. Okay, but if this activity is vulnerable to any kind of of WebView, typical WebView vulnerabilities, and it has access to some secure components, we can use the method inside the activity to access a secure component inside an application that we wouldn't otherwise be able to, because the activity is not even exported. But we can be able to access secure components of this application using this vulnerable method here. So, and we are going to use this parameter to access this method here, this method that displays the flag, and we are going to get this super secret code. Okay, so I had created this execution code here. We can check on it. We want to display whatever we want to call this method inside the application using the Android parameter. Okay, that I had shown before. Let's point our FRIDA script to this method here. Okay, let's save it and close. Let's start our FRIDA server again. Then let's execute our script. Okay, I think that is okay. Let's execute it. Let's click on this web view and see what we are gonna get. As you can see, this method has been called. Okay, super secret code. If you want to understand better about this kind of attack, there is a very good blog that has been written by Nescure. You can check on it, and thumbs up to Now Secure. It's really trying to teach people about mobile application security. So you can go through this and try to understand. So that is it in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's continue learning, continue practicing, and I believe you are going to become better. Thank you. See you soon.